welcome back. Today we are joined by Michelle Melia from Life Events Counselling based in Cork City. Hello, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kate. Good to talk to you. It's really nice to talk to you.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear more about what it is that you do and how you help couples before, I'm assuming before and after they get married, but we'll find out much more. So can you tell us a bit about your business and what services you offer?
Okay, Kate. Well, I suppose to start at the start, I'm a qualified counsellor and a psychotherapist. I'm based in Cork City in Southern Ireland, but I suppose since the pandemic, my business has moved online and now I offer an online service to people all around the country. And I suppose what I am specialising really is supporting people to navigate life events. You know, I just, from my own life, from my own family, and I can see it, I think life events really, they're milestones in people's life where it can, some points in their life where maybe things that have gone, that they haven't had to deal with before suddenly surface. And it's a good opportunity to take stock and to say, you know, there's some kind of a niggle maybe that has been going on for a while. And so that's where I'm at. I've worked with people who maybe are going through adjusting to life in college and that transition. It can be people who have expecting their first baby and preparing for parenthood. It can be people dealing with retirement. But I really had a focus over the pandemic. I really had an interest in people who had been planning their weddings. And that's where my interest that's where it came about, really.
Oh, amazing.
Preparing for your wedding is a time where you can get focus on, obviously, you know, the big day, the wedding and all, you know, all of the practicalities. But it's a lovely time in your life to focus on yourself, to focus on your wellness, to focus on your happiness, to focus on maybe what's blocking, what's niggling at me. It may be a loss from the past. Everyone experiences loss. There's no one on the planet who hasn't got some loss. Maybe they're not completely aware of it, but to be able to say, you know, I will miss such a person on my wedding day, or I would like it to be a little bit different. And just talking about that loss all really can dissipate the tension around it. So I really believe in that. So I think it's something that to do maybe a wellness check on themselves and their relationships before they actually embark on this really important milestone in their life and they commit to another person. So I like that idea of almost it gets into the wedding checklist. You know, not only have I got my dress, or not only have I got my suit, not only have we got all of the rings and all of the normal preparations and real exciting parts of a wedding, but also have I taken time to really reflect on what's really meaningful about this. This is a real celebration. I have somebody in the world who I'm committing to for the rest of my life, and it's a really, really nice event, and I like to enter into this really important stage in a very healthy way, then feel like I've really thought about this, and I'm really recognizing things that I might be bringing into the relationship that may cause some difficulties in the future, and I'm going to do my best maybe to try and process it as much as I can before the big day and after. So I like the idea then I build up a relationship with the people, and then what I find is that people come back as they also navigate other life events. It may be going for a job interview and the stress associated with that, and they might just go, Michelle, can I check in for another 1 or 2 sessions? And I'll be able to check in. And then other life events as they maybe start a family or not, or you know, decide the personal ambitions in their life that they feel they want to fulfill. They want to go traveling. They're not sure what to do, and they might just check back in with me because I know their story and we have a relationship built up. And that's what it's all about. If anyone is actually thinking, you know, I don't know about counselling or anything, I think the most beautiful aspects of counselling is the relationship.
Yeah.
The relationship, if you find the therapist that you like and that you kind of gel with, which is really important.
Mm-hmm.
So it may take a while to find the right therapist, but when you do, and that there's a nice gelling and a safe, secure relationship, then something really, really productive and something quite beautiful can happen, in that these two people can be there for each other, and the sole purpose is for the person who comes for the support, you know. So everything is about making sure that the person that I'm working with, they are my priority. It's not actually the other people in their world. I'm working to make them feel as good as they can in that hour or in their lifetime.
What advice can you give to couples, or if you work more with individuals, so like the bride, for example, to support wellness during the run up to their wedding? As you briefly touched on it earlier, so self-care being like a huge part of it. Is there any other tips that you give people about?
Yeah, I think what I was really passionate about is that idea of noticing if you're kind of minimizing your distress.
Right.
You know, if you feel like I must shut it down because these are just little problems and nobody would, I'm too embarrassed to say that I'm worrying about this. Yeah. So I like the idea of just keeping an eye on those, and it's that idea of kind of witnessing what's going on for you, that you go, I keep shutting down that, I keep like minimizing or kind of shutting down the distress around that event. And what I might say to somebody is actually maybe just keep a note on it. You know, you could write it down, but you know, just that awareness of this is the 6th time that I have this has gone through my head in a kind of a worrying way. Yeah. And I would say that would be something I would be encouraging people to do. And that's that self-awareness, you know. Yes. Just that noticing.
Yes.
You know, you're in conversations with people keep asking you questions about the day and the way and the dress and the shoes and when and you can find yourself going on autopilot, almost answering back, but inside you there's a bit of a scream going, oh my gosh, you know, I hate this, or whatever it is that's happening for somebody. And what I might say is, rather than just moving on and going, that's life, maybe we can say, well, what could be different about that? Let's just stay with that. What would be empowering for you in that moment, if that you feel that you're out of your comfort zone, that we might actually get you to just, it's a bit of that cognitive behavioral therapy approach. It's just like catching what's happening and telling your brain it's okay, you know, and twisting it around, and from an empowering place going, oh, I've got it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't have to react like this all the time. I actually can catch it, notice it, really become aware of it, and then I can react from a very adult, grounded place in the moment and go, we are all set for the wedding. We're fine. I'm confidently going, we're doing it our way. And we're really happy in how it's going.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be lovely for someone that they could catch that, you know?
Yes, before it starts spinning out of control. Basically.
Yeah. And that comes from one tiny little bit of awareness. So it doesn't have to be that you have this huge trauma in your life that you need to come to counselling about. It can be something very small and a little niggle that you go, I don't know why this keeps happening.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit embarrassed to talk about it to anybody else, but can I say it here, and then we can open it up, because it might lead to really, really healthy self-awareness, you know?
Yeah. So I guess like your big tip is like self-care and self-awareness, remaining calm, catching things before they get out of control.
Yeah.
Are there any other things, would you sort of recommend exercise as well? Or you mentioned do nice things for yourself.
Yes. Well, Kate, what I would say to anyone is to slow it down. to really try to slow things down. Because the planning of your wedding, it could be, a lovely experience, and maybe just to slow that down. And once you can slow it down, rather than the addiction to the stress of it all,
Yes.
slowing it down. And what might happen then, and I'm sure that this happens in your life, once you slow things down, then you can actually speak. And then that lovely, beautiful, true communication can come out.
Yeah.
So you can actually start talking to your life partner and saying, how do you feel about what we're doing with the wedding, or how this is going? Do you want to, will we go for a meal and maybe just talk it through? Or will we go for a walk together? Or maybe we'll have a weekend and let's not talk about it this weekend. Let's just remind each other of why we love each other.
Yeah.
And can we give ourselves permission to just actually pause, stop the planning for a little bit, even though that causes huge anxiety because we probably feel we should be getting but can we not just, and that time together, so that lovely, true communication can come out.
Yeah.
So that comes with the actual feeling of, I've had a good night's sleep, I'm eating well, I am minding myself, that self-care, and I can actually I can honor myself by actually saying, I just don't, there's something about this that we're doing that doesn't feel right, and I wish we could do things different. Can I talk to you about it? That they might, and what do we really want to do with the day? Is this going the way we want it to go? And if it is, then wonderful. Are you happy with the way this is going? And, blah, blah, blah. And then by your example of slowing it down and opening up that really nice communication from a non-stressful place, then that kind of triggers the other person to listen from a non-stressful place. And then you can actually kind of join up and some really nice moments can happen from it. So it's just about prioritizing that.